This video is going to look at vertebrates and the different classes of vertebrates. And Chordates or Chordata include all of the vertebrates. And that's the phylum that includes all the vertebrates. And all the chordates have a spinal cord, and those chordates that have their spinal cord protected by a vertebral column are known as vertebrates. And they often have a more complicated internal skeleton, but some don't. So obviously we have many bones and not just a spinal cord. There are 5 main classes of vertebrates. We have the mammals, which includes us. We have birds, we have reptiles, we have amphibians, and we have fish. Mammals have fur or hair and have mammary glands that produce milk. They have internal fertilization, and almost always there's an internally developed embryo, except for marsupials and platypus and echinidae. They're homeothermic, which means that they can maintain their own body temperature. Birds, such as this kookaburra, have feathers on their over their body and scales on their legs. They have a beak. They are internally fertilized and they lay hard-shelled eggs. Again, they're homeothermic, so they can maintain their own body temperature. The third class are the reptiles. Reptiles can be identified by having dry scales covering their skin. They're poikilothermic, so they need they're not homeothermic, so they can't maintain their own body temperature, but instead they need to get their heat from the environment. They are internally fertilized and lay soft-shelled eggs on land. The fourth group are the amphibians. Amphibians have wet, slimy skin and need to stay moist to keep this skin wet and slimy. They're also poikilothermic, so they rely on the environment for their body temperature. They lay eggs in water, and those eggs don't have shells, so think of frog spawn. And they have a part aquatic, part terrestrial lifestyle, so at some point, think tadpoles, they are aquatic, the frogs are partially aquatic, partially terrestrial. The final group are the fish. The fish have gills to get oxygen out of the water. They have modified limbs into fins, which help with stability and providing thrust through the water. And they have wet scales covering their skin. Those scales can be large or they can be small. And again, they're poikilothermic, so they rely on the environment for their body temperature.